근트브 코발년들아 유하. 네, 오늘 해볼 게임은 슬레이더 프린세스라는 스토리 선택지 게임 해보도록 하겠습니다. 이게 꽤나 매우 긍정적인 평가가 잇따라서 기대가 됩니다. 내용도 상당히 어둡고. 오, 소리 조금만 더 올릴까? 안 올라가네. 자, 그럼 들어가자. 챕터 1 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
당신의 숲속의 길을 걷고 있습니다. 그 길 끝에는 한 오두막이 있습니다. 그리고 그 오두막의 지하실에는 공주가 있죠. 세이브랑 이런 것도 있고 이런 느낌으로.
You're here to slay her.
당신의 역할은 공주를 죽이는 것입니다.
It will be the
죽이지
end of the
않는다면
world.
세상 멸망할 것이죠. 아, 이렇게 선택이 있구나. 멸망? 그게 무슨 소리? 애초에 공주를 가뒀기 때문에 공주가 세상 끝내려는 게 아닐까? 아무리 그래도 공주를 죽이다니 너무 심하지 않아? 나 말고 다른 사람에게 맡길 순 없나? 됐어, 안 할래. 내가 이 세상이 끝난다 해도 신경 쓰지 않을 거란 가능성은 생각 안 하는 거야? 이 일에 보상 같은 건 없어? 그렇군, 설명해줘서 고마워. 좋아, 군주의 목을 치러 가볼까? 혁명 만세! 조용히 오두막에 간다. 돌아서 떠난다. 이거는 선택해도 그렇게 큰 지장 없을 것 같기도 하고. 멸망? 그게 무슨 소리지?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it.
당신이 알고 있는 의미대로의 모든 것이 멸망입니다.
And perhaps
새도,
most
나무도
problematic of
사라지고
all,
무엇보다
people.
인간까지 모든 끝을 맞이하게 되죠. 그러니 당신은 그녀를 처치해야 합니다. 또 여기서 또 갈래로 나눠지네. 하지만 지혜같이 공주 어떻게 세상을 끝낸단 거지? 왜 위험한지 설명하지 않는다면 죽이지 않겠다. 그 말의 증거는? 그 뒤로 또 이어지는 내용. 일단 오두막에 가서 공주와 대화해보겠어. 만약에 정말 공주가 네 말대로 사악하다면 내가 공주를 죽일지도 모르지. 하지만 직접 만나기 전에 아무것도 단정질 생각이 없어. 근데 저라면은 애초에 그거 할 듯? 공주랑 대화해본다 이런 느낌으로 갈 듯? 일단 오둠에서 공주와 대화해보겠다.
Then I guess we'll
항상
just have to
대화가
see what
중요한 거다.
happens.
일방적인
A word of
소통보다.
warning. If you go in
보통
prepared to
일방적이라
hear
할 순
her out,
없지.
she
일방적인.
could easily trap you in her web of
하지만
lies.
경고를 하나 드리죠.
And the more
당신이
you listen
대화를
to
할
her
마음으로
honeyed
그녀에게
words,
접근한다면
the harder it will
그녀는
be to
당신을
pull
아주
yourself
손쉽게
out.
거짓말의 구렁텅이로 끌어들일 겁니다. 그리고 그 달콤한 거짓말을 들으면 들을수록 더 빠져나올 수 없게 되겠죠. 오,
Then each and
그렇게
every
되면
one of us
모두가
is
끝장입니다.
doomed.
그럼 세이브하면 똑같은 데서 들어가구나. 확인.
So sure. Go,
그러니까
talk to her.
뭐
See
가서
how that
대화해보세요.
turns out for
어떻게 되는지 보자고요.
You make your way up the short
당신의
path
길을
to
따라
the cabin.
오두막으로 올라갑니다.
You'll find the
거기서
princess.
공주를 만나게 되죠.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
정말
She's the
하려는 건 아니지?
princess. We're supposed to save
공주를 구하는
princesses, not
존재잖아.
slay them.
죽이는 게 아니라.
Ignore him. He doesn't
저자는
know what he's talking
무시하세요.
about.
자기가 무슨 말을 하는지도 모를 겁니다. 이제 가보자.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely
오두막 내부는
bare.
거의 텅 비어
The
있습니다.
air is stale and
공기는
musty,
창백하고
and the
기피합니다.
floor and walls are
바닥에는
painted with
먼지가
a
켜켜이
fine
쌓여
layer
있죠.
of dust.
눈에 보이는
The only
가구는
furniture
수수한
about
나무 탁자가
is a
끝입니다.
plain wooden table.
탁자 위에는 날카로운
Perched on
단검이
that
놓여져
table
있죠.
is a pristine blade.
이 캠 끌게요. 마스크 때문에 불편함. 앉아있기도 불편하고 마스크 때문에 불편해서 안되겠어.
The blade is your
단검은
implement.
당신의 무기입니다.
You'll need it
이를
if
제대로
you want to do
마무리하려면
this
필요할
right.
거죠. 일단 챙기자.
You take the blade from the table.
아!
It'd be rather difficult to slay
챙기지
the
말고
princess
내려갈
and
거야.
save the world.
공주한테 안심시켜 주려고. 킹워드로 들어가 볼까?
Then eat. So sure, you make your
일단 내 선택은 그게 맞아.
the blade.
지하실에 들어가.
Her voice softly
조금씩 생각하고 합시다.
stairs.
그녀의 목소리가 계단을 타고 올라옵니다.
Hello? Is
저,
someone there?
저기요? 거기 누구 있나요?
This
매혹적인 목소리야. 한번
It's the
들으면
kind of voice you only
평생
have to
남을
hear
듯한
once.
목소리.
Remember it, don't let it fool.
속지 마세요.
It's
이
all
또한
part
속임수의
of
일부분입니다.
manipulation.
무기도
You're playing a
없을지어다
dangerous
당신
game
지금
by
아주
coming
위험한
here
짓을 하고 있는 거예요.
unarmed.
그냥 괜찮은지 보러
You
왔어.
are?
정말인가요?
It's been so long since anyone's come down
누군가 여기
here.
온 게 너무
I was starting
오랜만이라
to think they'd
다들
forgotten
저를
about
잊은 줄
me.
알았어요.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How
이런
could someone
여인
like
위험할 리
this be a
없잖아.
threat to anyone?
그런가? 보통 예쁜 여자는
I am
오히려
begging
위험하던데.
you to stay focused. There's a lot right
당신에게
above you
드리는
here.
책임이 막중합니다. 제발 집중하세요.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
그 전에 잠깐 이야기를 좀 할까? 일단 상대한테 호감을 사기 위해서 한번 해보자로 들어갈까? 오히려? 일단 세이브 하자. 왠지 죽을 것 같은 느낌이 든다. 한번 해보자.
You're only making this more difficult.
몸매 보소? 눈이 좀 크긴 한데
Thank you. Thank you.
목소리도 좀 별론데?
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing.
애설자씨 좀 기다려보세요. 응? 또 우리한테 해줄 게 있을지도 모르잖아. 우리가 구해주는데 잠깐 어깨 좀 볼까?
You walk
등
up
뒤도
to
좀
the
다친 것
chains,
같은데?
binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
사슬이 두툼하네.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
인연 봐라.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
좀 더 찾아보고.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the
그래.
light of day.
이곳에 영원히
They
가둘
wouldn't have just
생각이다.
left the key to her chains somewhere.
그러면 애초에 죽이러 오지 않았어도 알아서 죽는 거 아닌가? 다른 좋은 생각이 있나? 좀 대화를
Some way
해보자.
to break the chains?
사슬을 끊는다.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always
헉.
cut me out of them.
무서워요.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
이게 팔을 자를 때 이쪽 자르는 것보다 이쪽 자르는 게 낫지 않을까? 그냥 손목만 자르는 게 좀 더
If we were stuck
나중에
down here
쓰기도
long
좋을 것
enough, I'm
같은데.
sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
너무 오래 갇혀 있으면 우리도 네 팔을 자르는데 별
We
거리낌이
attempt to make
없어질
your way
거다.
out of the basement, but the door at the top
어?
of the stairs
뭐야, 씨발.
slams shut. You hear the click of a
저기요!
lock sliding into.
사람 있어요. 갇혔노?
Is someone else here?
누군가가 있나? 비상.
You try
문을
the
열어본다.
door, but it's locked from the
문을
outside.
열어보렸지만 바깥에 잠겼습니다. 도로 내려간다. 이게 일단 공주가 모르는
You
짤이
made your way
아닌가?
to the bottom
이러면?
of the stairs. This would have been so much
음.
easier if you'd just
우리 갇혀
taken the
있는지
blade
모르는 거 아닌가?
like you were
좀
supposed to.
대화를 하면서 왜 그랬는지 알아볼까?
Easier for whom?
아가리 좀 조용히 해봐 너.
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here
들켰네.
too, didn't they?
거짓말
There's a
하네.
slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
그게 아니라 잠깐 오붓한 시간 좀 보내라고.
If I could just get out of
닫은-
these chains,
닫은
I know
거예요.
we could force our way out of here together.
아 그래요? 분명 같이 빠져나갈 수 있다? 아니 뭐 이거 해루석으로 돼 있어? 뭐 힘을 못 쓰게 되는 거야 이거 때문에?
She barely
뭐하니?
hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
갑자기 씨?
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound
Oh.
comes from behind you,
쿡!
the clang of bouncing metal. The blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down
Yeah, yeah,
here,
yeah.
but if there's a time to
이건
strike,
제정신이 아닌 것
it's now.
같은데?
Or we could use it to free her.
아니
You won't like what happens if you do that.
지금이 기회야! 내가 봤을 때 전혀 제정신이 아니야. 세이브 한번 하고 갈라보자. 죽어!
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Fine.
죽어! 아 나도 무슨 펄이 같은 건데?
The wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
너도 봤잖아 이년 제정신 아닌 거. 이년 씨 외모만 좀
Bastard! Were you lying to me this whole time?
이년 목소리 바로 바뀌는 거 봐라. 드디어 네가 속내를 드러내는구나.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible
어어어.
enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
그 전에 내가 죽는 게 빠를까 네가 죽는 게 빠를까.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened.
그러니까 얼마나 자신감에 차 있는 거야.
It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed.
그냥
There's nothing she
그건가?
can do to hurt you.
공주에 몰려가지고 짓는 건가?
I'm not so sure. Don't waver now.
좋아.
As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to
거의
tear her arm.
짐승인데.
Your knife cuts into her again and again
이년이-
as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with
아,
teeth and claw.
뼈.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her
야, 이
everything
새끼야.
you've got.
옆에 있으면 좀 도와줘.
Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this
이제
around.
다른 선택할 수 있어. 아니야 이거 어차피 2년 이거 하는 거 보니까 팔 물어뜯고 기어 나올 거야. 여기서 마무리 지어야 해.
You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here.
살아서 나갈
alive,
수도 없다고?
but you can still make sure that
그래.
she won't make it out.
내 암호 미생에서 2년
Excuse me? What's this about not making
나가는
it
거
out of here
맞겠다.
alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now.
모두 날
Don't
기억해줘.
can you not feel all those gashes and holes?
아
pulling
근데
you
나 좀
apart?
아픈데 이거.
If the princess doesn't pull you in
타이레놀이라도.
here, blood loss is certain to finish the job.
아 그래? 이미 죽은
You
몸이야?
take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you.
들어와.
The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons. And then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade
아씨,
away.
이 독한 년. 그렇게 당한 것도 씨.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend.
어?
But you were just another monster, weren't you?
괴물은 너지, 이 미친년아. 그게 제정신이야.
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you.
너는 씨발. 다음 생에 걸리기만 해. 바로
You've paid
그냥
a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark.
어차피 죽는데. 죽으면 그만이야. 뭐야? 챕터 2가 있어? 씨발.
You're on
뭐야,
a
죽으면
path
끝 아니었어?
in the woods. At the
뭐야?
end of that path is a
너
cabin,
데자뷰가.
and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
뭐라? 나 무엇을 알아네?
You're here to slay her.
에?
If you don't, it will be
멋있대.
the end of the world.
진짜 근데 왜 세상 공주를 죽이지 않으면은 잠깐만 이거 공주가 나 잠깐 하지만 난 공주를 이미 죽였는데 물론 나도 공주에게 죽었지만 분명 죽였다고 왜 내가 또 여기
I
있는 거지?
can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she
어라라?
didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two
야야야야
of us are meeting for the very
나
first
X됐다
time.
이거 새끼 너도 이제 모른 척 하는 거야 이제 네가 죽어볼래? 이게 되살아난지 안 살아난지? 그 새끼 지일 아니라고
If he
이거
doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
헉 아니 영웅 친구는 기억하는구나 그래 너밖에 없다
Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm
에?
not sure we
넌
can
또
trust
누구니?
him.
기회주의자 시체는 누구임?
You
아까는
know I
없었잖아.
can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess.
왜 내가 네 말에 들어야 되지? 이 모든 일에 의미가 있긴 한
Those are
거야?
two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
그래 아니 근데 애초에 뭐 상태가 안 좋아서 죽인 거긴 한데 애초에 뭐 때문에
Let's say for a
멸망한다는
moment
건지
that this really
모르겠네.
is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
그래 얘기해봐
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen
What?
to me.
소리야 이 말대로 단검 들고 가진 않았지만
We were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous
어쨌든
situation.
죽이긴
Can't
했다고
blame us for weighing our options.
거기서 다른 선택을 했어도 나가 또 같이 죽는 건 다른 의미 없었을 것 같은데
We did our best with the information we were given, and we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't
그건
have
네
any
입장에서 얘기지.
consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back
근데
where they
이거
started.
공주도 기억하고 있는 거
Sounds pretty
아닌가?
consequence-free to me.
내가 서로 죽였단 걸?
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of
죽였다니
this cycle,
생각보다.
right? We don't want to be stuck here forever, do we? You're laying it on a little thick, aren't you? Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinions. What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world.
근데 아직 듣지 못한 게 또 왜 멸망하냐가 또 의문이긴 하거든요. 어째서 그렇게 결과가 이어지는 건지. 그때 그 공주를 믿었으면 또 결과가 확실히 다를 거긴 한데 나는 그래도 아직 의문을 갖게 되고 의문이 남는데? 난 이게 더 궁금한데? 어떻게 세상을 멸망시킨다는 거지? 아, 이 새끼 봐라. 네가 제일 수상해 지금 공주보다.
Despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
저런 여자를 가둬두고 갑자기 나 불러오더니 칼로 찔러서 죽여야 된다 그러고.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is.
아, 이 새끼 봐라.
It's a path in the woods. Don't over.
칼 생김에 너부터 간다. 그래, 이거 떠넘기는 게 또 그래. 맞잖아. 기껏 가둬두고 왜 나한테 떠넘기는 거지? 아까 질문처럼 갑자기 수상하게 공주 가둬두고 자기들이 죽이지도 않고 나한테 떠넘긴다?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but
아, 지랄.
it's because you're special.
너 예언자 시치야? 킥세이브 하면은 또 열로 들어가네.
Oh, I didn't know you were special.
내가
Of
이제 이 세계
course
주인공?
you're special. Why else would you be here?
뭐 그렇게 띄워주면은 또 세상을 구하는데 또 힘을 보탤 줄 수도 있고
Good point. That really explains almost everything.
라고 할 뻔.
I'm not so sure
새끼야,
about that.
너는 이 딱 걸렸어.
You know, you're
말 같지도
right,
않은 소리를 하고 있어.
but it explains almost everything.
숨기는 게 뭘까?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just
아가리
overcomplicate an otherwise very
새끼.
simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information.
맞아,
What is
이것도
she
그럼
really capable of? How are we supposed to stop
공주
her?
정확한 능력 같은 것도 알아야 되는데.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her,
What?
the better things will go for all of us.
아, 진짜 이거 말로 하면 안 되겠네. 야, 얘들아, 이 새끼 둘러싸.
I don't think either of you really need to press the man on this. He wants us to slay the princess, so why would he have anything to hide? He seems like a nice guy to me.
기회주의자에는 그거네. 그냥 갈드컵
I
그거네.
appreciate the vote of confidence, but you should really stop wasting time chatting amongst yourselves in the woods. So if we could move this along?
어떻게든 그 갤
Now, if you don't mind, the
불태우려고.
whole world is waiting with
자,
a warning before you go any further.
그래, 뭔데?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from
알았어,
slaying her.
알았어.
Don't worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. You can trust us to get the job done.
이번에는 확실히 죽인다는 느낌으로 가자. 칼
The
챙겨.
interior of
뭐야?
the cabin is a mess of twisted roots.
어라?
The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble a
아까랑
room.
배경이
The floor
달라졌는데?
is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a
아까는
shelf,
좀 더
with a
깔끔하게 나무
pristine
판잣들로
blade
이렇게 돼
perched on its
있었는데
edge.
이번에는 매듭 지어진 것처럼 나무가 이렇게 돼 있네. 진짜로.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
모두보기 지난번과 좀 다르다?
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop
아, 이
out
새끼
of
봐라.
this past life
너 일로 와. 이
nonsense.
새끼
You haven't
말하는
died, and you
꼰대가.
certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
너 뭘 알아 해설자 이 새끼야.
That's
걸은
because
뭔데?
there isn't a mirror. There's the
뭐?
muddy shelf, the blade sitting on the muddy shelf, and the door to the
어?
basement.
넌 이게 보이지
Nothing
않는
else in
거니?
here. There's definitely a mirror. But he says there isn't one. That's got to count for something, right?
뭐를 다
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the
뭐라고?
cabin wall. I hope you know how
왜
ridiculous you look right
내
now.
눈에만 보이지?
Well, at least we can all agree now that there's nothing to see here. Case closed.
뭐야? 왜
Good
갑자기
work,
사라졌어?
everyone.
저는 원래 좀 이러긴 했어요. 아까 그 1회차에서도 단검 들었을 때 이랬거든요. 약간 그거 같음. 그 파충류 수인 이런 거.
You take the blade from
챙기자,
the
일단.
shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
거울 어디 갔지?
Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
일단 들어가 보자.
The door to the basement creaks open,
어우 씨 여기도
revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below.
껴있네.
The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below.
헉!
It shines
그 발언 약간
darkness
복선
like some
같은.
kind of massive maw.
아 퀵세이브는 이렇게 나뉘는구나. 아 좋네 이거. 퀵세이브하고 한번 볼까? 이렇게
The
갓겜.
air smells of dirt. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs.
어?
Calm down.
인연 봐라.
Don't be scared. I
쌍칼
probably
진년이고.
won't bite.
일단 대꾸해주지 마.
Silence, I see. Don't think I've
Huh.
forgotten about you. I recognize the sound of your nervous little footsteps as
Hmm.
soon as they came into my home. I know who you are.
그래
and I
기억하는구나.
remember what you've done.
잠깐만.
She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe
그래
that we've been
우리를 알고
saved?
있잖아. 전생했다니까.
Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation.
그러게. 조금 대화해보면 좀 마음이 잘 맞고.
Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is.
그래?
Look, I'm just
무섭긴
throwing
해
ideas out
공주가.
there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
그래 그거지. 아까는 또 공주한테 뭐 물어볼 겨를이 없기도 했어.
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall. Her eyes
그러네.
bright and glaring
공주가
from
폴이
the
생기고
thick roots.
다리에 털이랑 발톱도 생겼네? 어라라? 이번에 못
There
이기겠는데?
you are. One hand tucked away behind your back,
스-
gripping that sharp,
가-
sharp blade, no
가능.
doubt.
일단 우리 화해할까?
That's no fair. How would you know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses.
아 기다려봐
Good.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said
아이 개새끼야!
was true.
몇 번을 말해.
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning.
도살자 새끼.
Well, you seemed so. You really don't remember us, do you?
그러네.
No, I don't.
해설자
You and the
빼곤 다
princess
기억하긴
really have a
하는데.
shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. You fought us on it back in the woods. That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right
Oh.
now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and
생각해보니까
slay her.
아까 영웅의 목소리밖에 없다가 기회주의자의 목소리로 생겼잖아요. 내 행동에 따라서 그 다음에 따라오는 목소리가 늘어나는 거 아닐까? 원래는 영웅의 목소리를 따라서 구해줬어야 되는데 거기서 기회주의자처럼 앞에 칼 떨어졌다고 그대로 공주를 죽여버리고 그런 느낌으로. 그래서 기회주의자 목소리가 생기고 그렇게.
Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground.
이번
where
행동에 따라서
everyone's
또
happy.
목소리가 또 추가되려나?
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
인연 말하는 거 보소. 얘는 기억 다 하는데. 이게 일단 사실대로 말하는 게 맞는 것 같긴 해. 놀라서 그랬어. 네가 네 팔을 뜯어먹으니까 겁이 나서 널 찔러버린 거야. 내가 어쩔 수 없었다고.
Things did get out of hand, didn't they? But it's hard to let bygones be bygones when they led to murder.
너도 나 죽였잖아.
And you started it.
아니 그렇긴 한데 서로 다시 태어났으니까 반반 아닐까? 어째서 널 풀어주면 내 들뜰 것 같은 안 좋은 얘가 왜 들지? 근데 얘 성격 보니까 괜히 싸우다가 질 것 같고 일단은 얘 진화한 거 보니까 그렇다고 풀어주기에는 좀 그래. 아니 이번 생에도 나는 맞서 싸운다. 공주를 죽인.
Without uttering a word, you charged the princess. So much for finding an easy way out. I can't believe you're making us work for it.
More a fool than a plotting coward. Better for me, at least.
As you close the distance, readying your strike, the princess's chain
What?
falls from her wrist.
잠깐만. 이건 시나리오에 없었잖아.
She takes advantage of your split second of surprise and throws a fistful of dirt into your eyes.
인연이.
She could have
눈에
gotten out of
흙이.
those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. It's a shame we're playing opposite teams. This is why you couldn't just abandon her here. Left to her own devices, she would always find a way out. Now stop her.
You must have known I would be ready for you. Deep in your heart, you know the same things about me I know about you. We're both so very awful.
As you wipe the silt from your eyes, the
Oh,
princess
oh,
tackles
oh,
you, flattening you
oh.
against the dirt floor.
잠깐만, 나 아직 마음의 준비가 큰 누나.
We were always going to kill each other here, weren't we?
잠깐, 우리 화해하지 않을까?
You can't trust
화해하면 안
me, and
될까?
those doubts spin and
아직 우리
spin into hate.
그 몸의 대화를 나누기에는 다른 방법도 있을 것 같아. 증오 말고 사랑으로.
She buries her teeth deep into your chest, tearing. Great, she's distracted. Stab her in the back. In for a penny, right? Why not?
죽어 이년아.
As the princess rips meat from bone, you plunge your weapon into her unprotected back.
You bastard! Even face to face, you find a way to stab me in the back. I know you, and you're hideous. Absolutely wrecked.
Maybe we are the same. So what? Throw her off us. Kick her in the shins.
에라이
Don't have
샹.
to fight so dirty. Of course we do. Fighting clean won't help us win.
맞긴 해. 정정당당하면 이기는데 도움이 되지 않아. 이거는 결투가 아니라 싸움이라고.
Are we? At the bottom of the barrel. We've got dirt in our eyes and a chunk of us chewed out. If that's not the bottom of the barrel, what is? No arguments here. You're doing great. Keep playing dirty if that's what it takes. If we win, we won't be at the bottom anymore. We'll have climbed a little higher, and once we start
너 이
climbing,
새끼 말
who
잘한다.
knows where we'll stop?
너 분창 좀 칠 줄 아는구나.
You'll stop right here if you keep daydreaming. Don't let yourself get distracted thinking about what comes after. None of us ever said we stopped fighting.
이 손톱이 씨.
Eyes gouged, skin scratched bloody, hair ripped and nails broken. Every rule there ever was in the book of honorable conduct. Both you and the princess have broken a dozen times over. That's nice and all, but are we winning?
그러게, 우리 이기고 있나? 아닌 것 같은데?
I thought playing dirty was supposed to give you the upper hand, but I suppose that doesn't
언제
work. You
어기네.
both sink to the same lows. Still, at least you're not losing. The princess cackles maniacally as the battle continues. You hear the low groan of warping wood.
이년, 야야야, 뭐 머리 잡지 마. 야, 놔라. 셋 하면 같이 노는 거다. 하나, 둘,
We're establishing a newer, better packing order. No, the groaning thing. Why is the wood making noise?
에? 뭔 소리? 나무?
Who cares about the groan? It's just a sound. Things make sounds all the time.
바라라라?
I care about the groan. Doesn't that mean something bad is happening?
그러게.
Oh, yes, well, I'm afraid that's the sound of the basement getting smaller.
오두막이 점점 좁아져?
Do you hear that, you pathetic wretch? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to choke the breath from your lungs and squeeze the life out of you.
야, 근데 인형 몸매 보소. 야, 몸매가 아닙니다.
Excuse me, what?
But?
You and the princess disengage for a brief moment, just long enough to get your bearings. Behind you, the basement door has been sealed over,
갇혔다.
thick roots barring your only exit from the dirt pit.
Oh,
Slowly, but very perceptibly, the roots are...
That's right. They're coming for you. And they won't stop until there's nothing left down here but them.
너 어쩔 셈인데? 너도 같이 죽잖아.
As long as you suffer while you die, I'll gladly suffer with you.
이 제정신이 아니네 이제
Especially if I
진짜.
get to see it happen.
This doesn't help anyone. I can't believe she'd kill us both just to spite me. See? This is exactly why you've been tasked to slay her. She's an antisocial monster who
진짜
gladly
반세회적
kill the whole
괴물급이네.
world for her satisfaction.
오,
Closer.
큰일 났다.
We know. We can see them.
일단 이건 아니고 이거 두 개는 아니고 이렇게 세 개는 아닌 것 같아. 씨 어떡하노? 이것도 아닌 것 같고 이걸로 찔러보자.
I could, but as I've already made
뭐?
so
아니
clear,
너는 혼자 탈출할 수 있어?
don't want to.
어쩔 수 없구만. 널 죽이고 이 모든 걸 멈추겠다. 그러기엔
Against your back, a thick root pushing its way into the cavern, an unstoppable,
시간이 없다.
unyielding wall of bark. You're running out of time. Shit. What do we
Shit.
do? What do we do? We should probably get back to Stan. The only way out of this is through her, right?
에라이 쌍년아.
You attack the princess once more, and once more the two of you fall into a vicious brawl. The basement continues to shrink as you fight, but neither of you pay it
네가
any more
죽어야
mind.
내가 살아.
The roots twist around you both, binding your limbs and rendering you helpless.
어라라?
As your fates close in, all you can do
어라?
is watch her.
어라라?
And all she
어라라?
can do is watch you. At first it's almost gentle. The two of you lift it delicately off the ground. But the cradle of the growing roots soon gives way to tightness.
둘이
That
쪼인 보소.
tightness gives way to bulging pressure as they begin to constrict. The sound
너도
of
결국
creaking
죽는-
wood is drowned out by the snaps and pops of your bones, pain flooding your senses as you feel your skin deform, being shaped unnaturally by the
서로
living
그냥
beast.
찌부돼서 가버렸구나.
Tears well up in the princess's eyes, her own bones splintering and flesh swelling with trapped blood. But still, she smiles through it all.
자기가 어떻게 되든 나를 죽일 수 있다면 되는 거구나. 사실 세계 멸망을 막기 위해서 내가 그녀를 죽이는 게 아니라 그녀랑 나랑 같이 죽음으로써 세계의 멸망을 막기 위한 그런 게 아닐까?
I can't wait to do this again. You wretched
이게
little
무한
thing.
루프에 갇혀버리는
I
거지.
hate you, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Pressure is unbearable. You can't breathe, your vision swimming with red, your head pounding as everything tightens. And then you pop.
겁.
Everything goes dark. And you die.
어라라? 챕터 3 숲.
We are
Oh?
a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a
어,
path in the
어라라?
woods. Who's even saying that?
잠깐만. 아까 그 오두막 가는 길 숲이라는 거지?
That's not the princess, is it?
어?
No. How many times have you been here?
너도 내가 루프 하는 걸 깨달았구나.
I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2.
망가져
Or at
버렸구나.
3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp the things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Sure, there's no reason to keep secrets. Someone decided to go in guns blazing last
그래,
time.
같이 죽었잖아 또.
Someone got us killed. And what should we have done?
싸움꾼이 생겼다. 얘는 뭐지?
Conniving.
진짜 마지막까지 처절하게 싸운 그것 덕분에 생긴 건가?
It's honest.
내가 아까 말한 것처럼? 싸움꾼적 행보를 해냈기 때문에 다음 환생에서
There's no need to bicker about it. I wasn't trying to start anything. I don't mind what happened to us. I kind of like it now that we aren't actively being crushed. Yeah, now that you mention it, this isn't so bad.
And it's not like the fight is what killed us anyway, it was the cabin. No point worrying about who charged who when that...
It was a fitting end. I'm sorry if it hurt, but doesn't this make it all seem so small?
I see. So the cabin ground you into paste and now you're convinced you're stuck together.
아 그렇게 된 거야. 어쩐지 공주 목소리가 계속 들리더라 처음인데 공주와 섞여버린 거구나.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and
우린
we
한
aren't
몸이야
stuck together.
됐다.
We're one.
어
This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
우리를 감시하는 저것의 정체는 뭐지? 그래야 해. 지금도 괜찮잖아. 왜 내게 친절을 대하는 거지? 넌 날 증오하잖아. 바깥에서 우리를 압박하는 힘이 느껴져. 그럼 어떻게 해야 되지? 난 자신이고 넌 너 자신이어야 된다. 이 모습은 솔직히 별로야. 왜 공주인 거랑 나랑 하나인 거이신 채로 있어야 되지?
How could you say that? Look at us. We're almost everything. And we can be even more than this.
공주랑 나랑
Don't you
이
feel
숲이랑 하나가 된
potential?
건가?
Great. You can start by remembering that you exist, and not just as some dissolved component of a shot entity formed from you and the princess. You exist as your own self, complete with your own physical body, separate from hers.
I'm not so sure about that. We were?
And if thinking about that isn't enough to startle you back to reality, consider this. She committed a murder-suicide using a living cabin.
Right. That was unpleasant.
I'm sure I would have had us do the same thing if we were in her shoes. We really do make it. You need to remember that you and the princess are enemies. Don't let bygones be bygones. Remember what she's done to you and...
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the doubting and the hatred and the schemes. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
이렇게 아름다운 존재가 됐는데 다시 그때로 돌아가 의심과 증오의 속삭임에 넘어갈 순 없어.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
아, 원래는 우리 둘 다가 하나가 돼야 되는데 누군가 적대 세력에 의해서 서로 죽게 하려고 그랬었던 거구나.
Spoken like honestly a real puppet master. Have
아,
we
근데-
considered that maybe
아,
she's the
공주가
one
우리를
trying to trick
소개를
us?
하는 것 같기도 하고.
I'm not.
But there's a feeling, isn't there? That petty feeling she made.
It feels mutual.
Please stop. If you pay attention to that feeling,
그런데,
we'll fall apart.
반대로
Don't look at it!
She's trying to turn you away from the truth. There's something she doesn't want you to see.
역시
I
니녀는
think you
괴물이다.
already know
넌 안
how
되겠다.
to look at it. Hold yourself together. We're no strangers to effort. We can push this back down.
내면의 징후를 응시한다. 넣어버린다.
Please, don't make us remember how we were.
매년?
And just like that, you start to fall apart. Right, she really does hate us, and
그래, 우린 서로 좋아하던 존재였어.
hurts thinking about us as separate things, but we're separate. We never got to see the end of that fight, did we? And we can't both be winners. One of us has to beat the other, right?
I don't want to remember what it felt like to be killed. It was so much nicer when it didn't feel like it mattered.
And yet you keep remembering. You remember the loathing and animosity you've shared with the princess, the pain and the anger and the betrayal. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you,
Oh.
the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging.
Maybe bygones can't be bygones. I don't know why I ever wanted to share a body with you of all things.
인연이
It's like
드디어
my very
본색을
soul
드러내는구나.
reeks of yours. That was horrible. This is
괴물년.
I wish I didn't have to.
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gap roots across whatever
어.
cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike it.
Kill me then, if you hate me so much. Just get it over with.
어떻게 해야 되지?
This doesn't feel like a fight.
그래.
This isn't what I wanted.
싸움구나.
Where's the
또
victory in this?
소신이 있구나.
Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than?
Do we have to do this?
You have to. You know you have to.
해설자 친구는 계속 저 친구를 죽여야 된다고 하고 있고, 영웅은 딱 그거네. 구해줘야 된다. 공주니까. 딱 그거 맞는 것 같은데? 어떤 선택을 하냐에 따라 다음 회차에 어떤 인격이 어떤 목소리가 들어오느냐? 아. 근데 사실 공격을 먼저 시작한 것도 나고 나왔으면 풀어줄 것 같아.
You devious little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming.
맷? 새끼야, 네가 뭘 할 수 있는데?
And that other thing is...
이거 목소리 주제에 뭘 할 수
have to
있는데?
wait and find out when it happens.
뭐?
Just ignore him. What's he gonna do? Lecture us into submission? He can talk all he wants. He's weak. Thinks he can boss us around when he doesn't have any authority. We're clearly the ones with authority around here, so we can do whatever we like.
You're tired, aren't you? No, I'm not. I'm fine.
이거 뭐 어쩔 수 있는데?
Cut the
내가
princess down to the
구해주겠다는데.
roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. Good luck getting her out of here.
그래, 자세한 내막도 잘
I didn't
모르는데
think you would do that after everything. It's so cold
뭐?
without you.
난 그렇다고 안아주거나 그러고 싶진 않은데. 오, 깜짝아. 오씨. 잡아먹힌, 나도 안아줘야 당하는 줄 알았네.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
그러게?
Why is
저
it here?
거울은 왜
Why
또
now?
다시 나타났을까? 해설자도 안 보이는데? 거울을 들여다봐야지 될 것 같아.
Dreadful about it. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
해설자는 어디 갔어?
Does that mean the world ended? The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We're top of the pecking order now. Does this mean we won? Right.
이죠?
Gone. It's just us and that. It's like it's mocking us. I'm begging you, don't do. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
어쩔 수 없어. 거울을 마주 보는 수밖에. 어? 어? 어?
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
어? 너는 누구시지?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
난 내가 뭔지 모르겠어. 아니,
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
왜 약간 그릇은 뭐지?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart. Do not mourn her. She has found what she yearned for.
이 세상이
How
멸망인가?
can the world have ended if we are...
네가 공주니?
She is part of me, and part of me is... You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
닭과 달걀 같은 느낌이구나. 이거
I have only
궁금하네.
just now stirred to consciousness.
어라? 스스로를 파괴하려 했지만 아무도 느끼지 않는다. 눈앞에 수많은 손들 중 하나가 당신에게 다가와 부럽게 당신 얼굴을 어루만진다.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
이제 어떻게 되는 거지?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us. and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will
공주의
know
조각들을 모으고 모아서 하나의 본래의 공주로 되면은 세상엔 얘 입장에서 세상의 파괴가 아니라 세상의 그건 거 아닌가?
You ask of things that cannot be done.
이런 씨
To
맞네.
destroy is merely to reshape. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and I have not lived. I am not a.
아오.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
이번 공주가
You won't.
진짜 죽음을 당했다. 다시 돌아온 챕터 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path,
아 이런 식으로
you're here to
공주 조각들을
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
나 근데 이거 결국에는 야 공주를 방치해두면 안 되나? 한번 돌아서 떠나볼까?
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
근데 공주는 애초에 처음에 그걸 모르는 것 같은데 그 자신이 어떤 존재인지를. 이미 나는 새로운 세상이란 거에 대해 알고 있잖아. 단순히 파괴라고 정하지만은 사실 그냥 변할 뿐이라는 거.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing
아니,
forever.
그냥 변하는
I
것뿐.
suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
그대로
That's
돌아간다.
strange.
어라라?
Looks like this
이런
path
씨.
also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved.
알았어. 한다고. 아이,
You're
또다시
really
돌아가.
keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish if you are.
닥쳐. 조용히
Your
돌아선다.
silence is deafening. But fine. You turn around and trek
그러면
down
또
the path.
오두막으로?
Would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition
어라라라.
or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is
결국
doing its best to bring you
공주를
to a
마주하게
fated
되면서
confrontation with
내가 공주를 마주해야 되는 거 맞나 보다.
But let me tell you right, we can't just go through with
아가리.
this and listen to him.
해설자 이씨. 너는 이씨 끝나고 보자.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. Only the blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
오케이, 가져가 보자.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess.
맞이하라.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous.
어?
It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you.
지쳤나?
It's all part of the
칼 들고
manipulation.
온다는 걸?
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about
의식하고
me.
있는 것 같은데.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
중년 봐라.
There's a heavy
피부가 하얀
chain
게
around her wrist.
She's so coldly beautiful.
맛있다.
Focus on the task at hand.
우리 다른 방법으로 좀 사건을 해결할 수 있지 않을까? 이
And there
구도를?
you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
난 아직 결정 못할 것 같아. 아까 그런 일이 한 바퀴 돌고 나서도 얘가 가져오는 결국에는 파괴라는 변화일 뿐이잖아.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us.
She's right, we shouldn't. But don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe
오케이, 너 일단 내려두자.
blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
알았어. 너
Just
뭔지는
make sure you don't
알니까.
forget about the blade on the floor.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
그래 참. 어색하. 2년 지금 나 유혹하는 거지. 어깨선 일부러 드러내고. 맞지? 네가 잘못한 거야.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
야야야. 너 일로 와. 2년 말하는 싸가지 보소. 치마로 얼굴 덮. 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라
Don't
생각할 필요
just tell
없어.
her that.
왜 알려주긴 대화를 풀어서 알아야지.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world. I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
사실 몰랐을 때는 이런 말이 맞는 거긴 한데, 알고 나니까 좀 무섭네.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
What if they're bad reasons, though? If they had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you
또
why.
맞긴 해.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either.
그치.
Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
그래서 대화를 통해서 뭔가 알아가려고 하는데,
She has a point.
이미
There's a reason I've been
1회차 하고
telling you the
나니까
situation, and
무슨
there's a
느낌인지
reason
알겠어.
you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
네 말에 대해서도 마찬가지지만 반대편도 마찬가지지. 해설자
She's right about
쪽도
one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like
그 말을
I said,
들어봤자
it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less. She hesitates before answering.
일은 뭐지?
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty.
아니
Any honorific
그런
should do,
형식적인 걸
really.
물어볼 리가 없잖아.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
이름을 알아야지 침대 위에서 좀
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
당장 맞서 싸우면은 힘들긴 하거든요. 가둬두면서 좀 생각 고민을
That
해볼까?
seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way.
아까처럼 팔을 물어뜯으면서 나갈
I'm
건가?
going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice.
아,
Let's hope.
이번에는 두고 나와보자.
I know it's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this
그래,
work if we just stay here
두면은
and keep
못 나가지 않을까?
You're making a mistake.
이거 뭘 할 수 있는데?
You turn your back.
신년
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here,
Oh.
there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains. She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wait.
I know you're still
Oh.
there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
잠깐만.
This little door'll hold you very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
when I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You won't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
그러지 마라.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
당장이라도 튀어나올 것 같은데? 네, 넌 괴물이야.
I could be innocent and harmless if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air
전
and a chance to find
착하게 굴 생각 없다고.
inspire me.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped.
Where is she?
왜 어디 갔노?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet as the princess draws near. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves.
Whose side are you on?
Yours, of course. But I have a duty to us.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
인연이 저 먹을라 그래요.
She steps closer.
잠깐 이렇게 무섭게 생긴 사람이랑 하기 싫은데.
Cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shut.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you.
눈이
Look well. What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
아니 도와줄 걸 그러면은
Your lungs
해줬을 것
draw
같은데.
in breath, and your heart.
I'll say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
잠깐 끔찍한 데자뷰가 느껴지는데. 가자 그냥. 이 순간부터 더 대할 그게 없어.
She will.
I don't think lying and it doesn't matter.
편집증이 생겼네. 맞네.
Anyone.
아까 그게 맞나봐. 각 회차마다 초기화되면서 목소리가 이제 어떤 목소리가 추가되는지 내 선택에 따라 달린 건가봐. 처음에 영웅적인 면모로 들어가서 이제
The interior
해결하려
of the cabin is
했는데
plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room.
문이 열려
The
있는데.
blade is your implement.
Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame.
이렇게.
She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. We're going to need all of you to pull yourselves together.
저 똑바로
The
차려.
princess has not all. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task.
이거는 거울에서 말하지 않았잖아.
I was so stuck on the eyes watching us that I didn't even notice it there.
What are you two talking about? There isn't a mirror.
새끼
There's
또 뭘
except
척하네.
There isn't. We have.
We shouldn't waste time preening. But if he is lying about
이
the
선택지도
mirror,
그거네.
it might be important.
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Maybe he's trying to keep us from looking because there's something horribly wrong with us. No, there isn't something horribly wrong with you. You look exactly how you're supposed to look. We should have
그냥
taken
들어가자.
again. I don't think she's going to take an olive branch. We need something sharper. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in dark.
More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes.
Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back. She must have you confused with someone else.
이번에는 자세히 설명 안 해줬더니 얘도 뭐 상황 파악을 못하는구나
You
제대로.
really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter. We need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there
그냥 대화해보자. 그래. 이번에는 대화로 풀 수 있지 않을까?
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever. We're going to die down here. I don't want to.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because
이거는 어쨌든 선택하는 거. 이거는 어쨌든 돌아간다. 뭐 후회 같은 거 아닐까? 이거는 포기한다는 거고. 오른쪽으로 가보자.
You turn to the right. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
there you are. I told you I was going to fight.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
No little knife this time. It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this.
드디어 사람의 형상을
Think.
아직 벗어났구나 그냥.
Do. Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
야, 이 해술자 이 새끼야 아직 정신 못 차렸어?
To play with you before you break.
Your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing?
그만해라.
I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And the experience stops once more as your body Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing... Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
오,
Can't decide what you
살려주세요.
want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven. And how are we supposed to do that? That isn't my fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is because fighting her isn't an option. Then you should get looking, shouldn't you? Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
이거 뭐야? 악몽과 함께 낫는다? 그냥 이걸 받아들이는 거구나.
Liver, nerves, heart.
You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
켰네. 한순간에 용기 있는 척할래.
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath. Before it, like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your
너무
mind.
무섭게 생겼어.
Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years.
Let me out.
A reprieve, a good life, love, children, a steady career, recognition from your peers. Here one moment, gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
으악.
Let me me out!
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance.
Let me out!
No. What's happening to us?
그러면
Let me out!
This is all too much. I can't keep going. You can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
해설자야?
Oops, I think I broke you.
어라라?
I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
깨달음의 습관.
You're on a path in the... Shit! What the hell was that?
우리 뭐지?
There was a princess, I think.
아, 절망이 생겼네.
So fuzzy.
이게
Hurts
아무래도
when I try to remember.
내 인격이 이면들을 하나하나 찾아가는 것 같은데? 나는 그녀고 그녀는 나인데 그녀를 통해서 나 자체를 깨닫게 되는 거 아닐까, 하나씩?
You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you?
그런
I guess. It
아,
feels so long ago,
다중인격이라기엔
but
그런
we've never left.
다중인격 인격 자체가 바뀌는 거고 내 성격의 이면들 하나씩 찾아가는 거지. 성격 자체인 거를 모두 다 나인데 하나의 인격에 그러니까 감춰져 있던 걸 하나씩 꺼내는 거지.
We have to let her out. No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out.
기회주의자가
It's really the only
돌아왔네.
way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's... No, we were
싸움꾼도
supposed to
돌아왔고.
keep her trapped there forever.
아, 여기는 그거구나. 모든 인격들이 다 돌아온
We're
그 자리구나.
supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to
냉혈도
suffer
생겼잖아.
your heart? We can't be unfeeling.
사냥감도
There's
생겼고.
fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried.
아,
it.
여기서부터는
We love her.
완전 그
So we
엔딩 그거
have to set
나오구나.
her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love to be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel? Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us.
모두가 다 우리야.
This is bad.
모두가 다
Get a
나고.
grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
몇 번이냐 거냐고. 그걸 알면 여기 서 있겠어? 이제 내가 몇 회차인지도 모르게 된 거린 거구나. 오두막이 간다.
You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the but eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have... No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there. Don't ask him about the mirror.
해설자는 거울
He
주체
always
보이지도 않나
says he
보네.
never sees it.
거울은 나 자신을 마주보라는 의미 같은데.
He
내
always
성격들
lies.
모두가 나인 것을.
And he always makes it gone. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. She's still here, buried deep in... Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the... You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it. Smash it to... She's on the other side.
and we have to let her out. It's the only way. It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter. Proceed. Proceed to where? That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see? We're one step closer to her. The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolated.
칼도
There's just
그냥
enough
바닥에
shade.
꽂혀
The only
있고.
object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. It's the only way forward.
와, 아니 다른 선택지로 들어왔었으면은 이런 게 다 됐겠네. 아니면은 이 세계는 그거다. 이 자체도 몇 회차를 또 했었어야 되나 보다. 결국엔 단검을 주워야 되네.
You reach down to take the blade,
Oh.
but as you do, the ground beneath it shifts. You lean over the hole and gaze into the deep in the bowels of the earth. It's she's watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks,
When I said that way back when, I was having some fun. Watching over you forever, that was so rude. But forever is so long. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not going to left It's so much fun. You have a witness. I can even live through a little cage if you want.
do something. Do anything that you.
공주님을 석방하라.
You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
I didn't think I'd be so tired. Why is it so cold?
돌아왔다. 그때의 기억이. 내면 세계로.
It's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away just like her. Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now. Doesn't seem like there's much. Finally, we can smash it. Oh, will you stop with this? What do we say, boys? One last. Yeah. I think I'd like that. Seems we've got a majority. All that's left.
오케이. 나를 마주보자.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad. It feels I'm done fighting. My heart, I'll be free. I'm ready to sleep. I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't. Boys, it's been an honor.
이번에도 모두 사라졌다. 대신 자신은 성장했다. 헉. 자신은 오두막에 있다.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
아까는 활력 넘치는 게 아니라 뭐 다른 거였지 않았나?
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
아, 그녀에 대해서도 계속 모으는 게 맞는 거구나. 내가 생각했던 게. 얼마나 변화했지?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gets
아,
special
그릇들
sparkles
가져올 때마다
and carves new avenues of expression.
그만큼만 딱 바뀌는 건가 보구나. 왜 이전과 같이 똑같이 선택을 할 수가 없었지?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are
아,
useless to us now,
우리가
inaccessible.
지금까지 가져왔던 싸움꾼이랑 기회주의자, 편집증 이런 것들 편집증은 이미 다른 거니까 이미 선택했던 것들은 못 선택한다 그런 뜻이구나. 새로운 이전의 길들은 의미가 없다. 그러게 왜
Why
나를
wouldn't I be
친절하게
kind to
대해주지?
you? You are the only thing I know that is.
그렇다고 친절하게 대. 다음에 어떤 그릇을 원해?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. I will long for your return, but it will give
난
me
준비가
time to
됐어.
reflect on what I am. We will meet again.